100% pure rock. 1077 The Bone.
So I think the first thing that most of the Bay Area wants to know is what happened at Uproar.
Oh man, Uproar's a long tour, lots of shows. That was coming up right on one of the the day before the last show entirely of, being on tour, solid 2 months. And, Matt just heard his voice at that point. And he's, backstage, he tried doing all the warm-ups, got, on the phone with his vocal coach, not that he couldn't sing 100%. I mean, he couldn't sing. Like, it was pretty screwed up. So, we waited as long as we can. We were at the venue watching other bands, and there just comes a point where it's like, if you're not capable of going out there and doing it. So we were bummed, I was sitting backstage when they made the announcement, and I hear all the, the fans upset, and it hurts my feelings. That day also, oddly enough, I reached in to a bag and cut the entire tip of my thumb off with a razor blade. Couldn't get it to stop bleeding for 2 days, had the EMTs there, right where I hold a guitar pick. But I put duct tape on it, I was ready to go play,
Super glue and go.
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot, But, if Matt can't make sound, it's going to be a real uncomfortable hour. But that's why we came out today, and we wanted to make it up. There's all the big companies were thinking about, we could give them a discounted ticket. We're like, let's just give people a free show. Like, let's do it. We've never done it before. Let's just do it.
That's kind of huge. How hard was it to convince people that needed to happen?
Oh, it's nearly impossible. But we love our fans. We want them to be happy. I know we all heard them boo and they're upset, but we know that they'd stick by us. So we said, okay, the cycle's coming, this album cycle, the Nightmare Touring cycle's coming to an end. We're gonna make sure and get back up to you guys, put on a free show. Not gonna do it at a small club so no one can get in. So we took over the Sharks Arena and
How did you get somebody to pay for this?
That's
Are you guys writing a check?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? Our fans have supported us. They're the most important things to us. They stuck with us. We wouldn't even be a band if it wasn't for them. So it's the least we can do. Like, I don't want anyone having to pay for anything at a show like this. I want everyone that wants to see us put this album cycle to rest, go out with a bang, and they've been so supportive, and, hopefully next time they'll come through and we won't have to cancel, So just kind of our way of thanking our fans.
How's everybody feeling now? I know because he's had vocal problems in the past. Were you guys like a little on edge?
Yeah, right now, he got better and his voice is stronger. The reality is, in the course of these 2 years, we've been nonstop. We've toured the States, I think, 5 or 6 times. We've been to every country in Europe, on multiple occasions, South America, Asia, all through Canada. Last time this year we were over in Iraq for our troops, in Kuwait. We've been nonstop. We've played, I don't even know how many shows, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows. And we're at the point where it's been all, headlining. So it's a full set. It's an hour and 30 minutes every single night, 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row, with little rest, lots of traveling. So at this point, I think it's kind of safe to say we're running off fumes, but we're all in really good spirits. I do backup vocals. My voice is shot at this point. But I go out there and have fun with it. Every night Matt's doesn't feel 100% like at the beginning of the cycle, but he goes out there and has more fun, brings kids on stage to play our instruments and stuff. We're going up there and putting on the best show that we can. And we're old men now. Some of us are turning 30, just turned 30, and we're a little bit beat up, but I think it's shows like tonight, like we're so excited about that it's gonna be, as if we were 20 years old again and rocking. It's gonna be fun.
So that kind of begs the question. You guys are getting ready to wind down this album cycle. Is there a new album in the works? Is there a hiatus up next?
We're gonna do something that we really haven't done since the beginning, and just dedicate a small amount of time which is a huge, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny amount of time, but to us it's huge. You know, maybe, you know, we want to go back to Southeast Asia and just do it right for them. There's a couple places that we really need to play, like Indonesia, who's been huge supporters of us, and we haven't been there on, you know, this touring cycle. So we're going to go back around April and just put it to rest with that. But from now until then, we're going to kind of do something that's unheard of and not do
Vacation?
anything. Yeah, man, just being at home is a vacation. So we're not going to worry about writing, do anything. I mean, obviously, we're musicians. And when we're at home, we're going to be tinkering around, you know, trying to come up with ideas. But we're not going to do anything structured. We're going to get a warehouse, we're going to build it up, put up our favorite punk band posters, and we're going to do it just like we did when we were younger. And, you know, probably around the summertime, we're going to work on, you know, just getting together and just
It's going to be an air-conditioned warehouse?
Probably not. We'll probably keep it pretty punk rock, just to do it right and feel, you know, everything that we did, you know, when we started the band, and just make as much noise as we can and have as much fun as we can. And then once the ideas start coming, I mean, a natural evolution will be to start writing, and once you have one song you're excited about, it's all over from there. But yeah, you know, we're gonna take a little bit of time off, not like a indefinite hiatus or anything, just enough time to rest, recover our frail old bodies, and, you know, just have some fun.
Is there studio time booked next fall, or is it just kind of a tentative thing right now?
It is tentative.
Yeah.
You know, we want to make sure that we're excited about the direction that the album's going to go in, and that we have good ideas. We never ever put a time limit on, you know, some bands like, gotta have an album out, gotta do this.
Well, you guys have been marching to that tune.
Yeah.
For 5 albums in a row.
And that's just been solely by busting our ass and just working so hard, you know, to get an album out that we feel proud of. We would stay from noon till 4 in the morning for 3 months straight in the studio to make sure it was perfect, especially with Nightmare, because it was the most important thing we've ever done. And, you know, since that day, you know, it's been a crazy, crazy experience. There's been some incredible accomplishments, and obviously really down days because of, you know, the circumstances. But, you know, being here almost 2 years later, and, you know, having a night like tonight, you know, it's a sold out arena, and it's been incredible.
Do you guys feel like you just aged 15 years in the last 3?
I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was looking at my hair today when I was getting ready, and I, you know, see the gray coming in, and it's not because it's my genetical makeup. It's because it's been, I mean, you know, we went from being younger, naive. I don't think anyone in Avenged Sevenfold is dumb, but younger, naive, to having to instantly grow up, because it was on our shoulders to continue as a band, and you know, we had to learn about what really mattered instantly and how to accomplish it. You know, we had to get from point A to Z in this much time, and there wasn't anyone besides our fans to help us. So we all did it together, and we've all aged a lot. But, you know, it's good. You know, we had to.
Were there any kind of like highlight moments that came about when things were really bad and you were like, this was something that kept us going? Obviously fans, but like any kind of a moment that sticks out.
The biggest moment was the first show we played without Jimmy, because we were miserable. We were sick. I mean, absolutely sick, and we all truly thought we're gonna walk on stage and end up walking off stage and just calling it, like, that's the end of it. And that's kind of what we were prepared for. It's kind of, we couldn't play the songs. We had zero opportunity to rehearse with Mike Portnoy, who had flown in from England and arrived an hour before we even went on stage. So we're already nervous. We barely played the songs with him. Never played with anyone in our life besides Jimmy. And we're in front of 30,000 people who are watching us under a microscope. So, I mean, it was the scariest thing I've ever dealt with, and for all of us. And we got on stage, and we saw 30,000 people with signs, and they didn't care how we were going to play. They were just truly supporting us to get back on our feet. And at that moment, it felt like maybe this will be okay. Maybe we'll be able to do it. So that was touching.
It's like a 30,000 person sympathy card.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome.
How did things end up progressing with Mike? Because I know it got a little weird there when he was leaving Dream Theater and then was leaving you guys. It seemed really confusing in the press. It
was something that we were not used to at all. We had never ever experienced any kind of in the spotlight drama. You know, we just always stay in the shadows and keep any of our personal business private. And he's a very different character. He always goes straight to the fans, to Twitter and whatever. That's how he dealt with his band, and it was new to us. I mean, we like to be in touch with our fans, but we're also very private. Because to us, it's not about Zacky or M Shadows or Sinister Gates. It's about Avenged Sevenfold. It's more important than any one of us. And I know he'd been talking about quitting Dream Theater, or that he wasn't necessarily happy, and he was excited to be playing with us, and we're playing huge shows and stuff. And I think he got caught up in the moment, got excited. We begged him not to consider what he did, because we were in no position to find a permanent replacement. Because in all honesty, you can't replace Jimmy. He was our best friend, first and foremost, besides being an amazing drummer.
And it sounds like you were still in question about whether or not to even keep going.
That absolutely. And so it just wasn't the right time or the place. And he told us, hey, I got good news and bad news. I quit Dream Theater. We're like, oh no, that's, well, if you're happy, then, that's good. He's like, now I can be with you guys. And we're like, that's not necessarily what we've decided upon. And, you should take your time, reconsider. He's like, well, I put out my press release. We're like, dude, that's not how we do business. Like, you should have talked to us before. And, and then it was back and forth. And, like, we were out of it. We had nothing to do with it. We were just trying to get back on our feet. And so when all that was going down, it was, causing us a lot of heartache, to be honest, to see our name in this, kind of love triangle, kind of drama-filled love triangle. It really was. He
divorced his wife for his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was like, whoa.
Yeah.
We hardly know each other. You're much older.
That's exactly kind of how it was. And he helped us out at a really vulnerable time, and for that we'll always be extremely appreciative. But for us, we were so unstable at that point that any unneeded, attention was just very harmful to us. And we're obviously it didn't work out, but I think it's for the best for him and for us. And we've gotten back on our feet, and it's been a really kind of triumphant experience. And to see where we're at now and see that tomorrow is going to be our last U.S. show, for the Nightmare Cycle. Whether we play something in the summertime, or want something here or there for fun. I mean, we've done the Nightmare After Christmas tour. We did the Welcome to the Family tour, the Buried Alive tour, and to see where we started from. Obviously I was almost in tears a second ago talking about the first show, to tomorrow it's going to be triumphant, and a night like tonight giving our fans a free show for 12 or 15,000 people.
Life is still a roller coaster right now.
Yeah, man, but it's been a fun experience, and we're all doing really good.
Do you feel like you guys have the reins for the first time? Really?
Yeah. I mean, you still don't know, because
I mean, the album cycle takes you.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys are really making a lot of decisions now.
Yeah.
In advance.
And we're excited about taking some time at home. And what we've all learned is you never know what the future holds, because you don't determine it. It's out there. But what you can do is enjoy it. For this to be the second to last show of a 2-year cycle, which most bands don't even get through 6 months at this point, and having toured the world And for us to be in such good spirits, like we always love each other, but by the end of touring, it's like burnt. Like we're physically exhausted, but mentally, like we're all in a really good spot, which is something pretty exciting. And I think it's because we've, accomplished something which most bands really don't ever get. We have fans that really truly love Avenged Sevenfold and support us. So it's been awesome.
When you guys are, I'm guessing you said that you guys riff a little bit off tour and on tour and at home. How's the music feeling? Is it feeling like you guys are wanting to branch out, go different places, or wanting to really kick out something classic, A7X, or?
We always want to be adventurous, but I think, I say that all the time, by the way, our fans call me out, I say I think all the time. I just want to go out there and write an album that kicks as much ass as possible. When we're playing the festivals in Germany, next time around, I want to see the biggest circle pit that anyone's ever seen happen. If we write a ballad, I want to see people that touch. I want to see teary eyes. And that's just kind of what we've always done. But now we understand what that means, having written such an emotional album. We understand where to dig inspiration from, not just writing songs for the sake of writing them. Nightmare has been so successful for us because it touches people in a way, because we dug so deep. And I think we know that that's what's the most important thing about songwriting. If you want a song that's fast and aggressive, you go back to the times in your mind when you were the kid in the crowd, moshing, and you dig from there. If we're not having fun when we're writing a thrash song, if we're sitting there trying to figure out how to write a cool thrash song, that's the day that we need to hang it up, in my opinion. Because, we're getting older, but we still love that kind of music. Matt will always listen to Pantera, We'll always throw on, our latest thing is we're listening to the new Mastodon album. Backstage is our pre-warm-up, and even though our voices are kind of blown out and stuff at this point, me and Sin are screaming at the top of our lungs. It's awesome, and everyone in the hallway, all the security guards are like, what the hell is going on back there? We're screaming, our voices are cracking and stuff, but we're having a lot of fun with it.
As long as you're scaring the adults, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. And so we always, we'll always dig, deep within ourselves to try and write the best music. We'll never just go out there and put something out for the sake of putting it out. It's too important to us.
You guys are getting a little bit of time off. Is anybody thinking about side projects or hobbies or something that they want to get to outside the band?
Not really. We all have hobbies when we're at home. As far as side projects and stuff, so much of our attention goes to Avenged Sevenfold that, it's one of those things. Matt will sing on some people's albums every now and then, but the truth of the matter is if we ever came up with anything good that we're proud of as far as writing music goes, it goes to Avenged. So anything, a side project would just, no matter how good any one of us thought it would be, we all know in our hearts it wouldn't be our best stuff because we give our best stuff to Avenged. And with Avenged, there's no certain writing style. We can write a Dear God or a Little Piece of Heaven or a God Hates Us. So it's not like we don't limit ourselves. So it's not like, well, I want to write the soft song, but everyone wants to only write hard songs, which makes it nice. So yeah, we have hobbies when we're at home, but other than that, it's probably just gonna be relaxing and just enjoying being home.
You guys have been carrying the headliner for a long time. Is there and carrying package tours, which is kind of a big responsibility. Is there anybody that you would like to go out with and support?
Oh wow.
Take a load off. Somebody you look up to.
No way. I like being up on top, and I like seeing our fans that, and I like talking to the opening bands and trying to help, earn them some new fans and, just try and give them any advice that I can. I really do enjoy that. That's one of my favorite parts. We've been so fortunate to have opened up for bands like Metallica and Iron Maiden, Guns N' Roses, and it's incredible. We've learned so much from them, but I don't like opening for other people really.
It's give back time now.
I think it's our time to blow stuff up.
So on the flip side of the coin, are there some bands that are up and coming that you'd really like to tap into in the next couple of years?
Oh, absolutely. I think on a tour like this, especially, I mean, I love Hollywood Undead. The Asking Alexandria guys remind me of when we were doing like Sounding the Southern Trumpet, our very first album. The Black Veil Brides kids, they're awesome. I mean, just watching those kids, and they're so young and so ambitious and, you know, a little naive, you know, and they go out there and they give it their all every night, and it reminds me of us. I mean, what we look like now at this point, we've grown up a little bit, and a little more mature and a little more tame. That comes with age, but they're going out there and just full bore, and I love it. And, you know, people, you know, hate them, and you read interviews, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. That's exactly how we were. Everyone hated us, and people still do. And that's the best way to be. In the future, I would really love to tour with Mastodon, because those guys are our friends. We have toured before, but we haven't done a proper tour since probably like 8 years ago, when we were both playing together in tiny clubs, and we're opening up for them. And it'd be fun to just reconnect and go and play bigger places now that, you know, it's this many years later. And I love the band Volbeat. Mm-hmm. I think they're awesome. It's funny because they're not as big in the States here yet, but they're huge over in Europe. I mean, they
will be after Gigantour, I think.
Yeah, man. And I think that's incredible. They have a lot of energy. I love their last album, and they're playing huge festivals in Europe. I mean, they're headlining stuff over there. It's pretty incredible. I think that would be, of me being a fan, that at this moment in my life, that would be like the ultimate. Avenged Sevenfold, Mastodon, Volbeat, take that around. That'd be fun.
You guys have increased in popularity exponentially in the last like 5 years. Every year it's just gotten double and double and double and double. Has that been hard to keep up? Is it like, does it feel like a pressure, or does it feel like a blessing, combination?
Oh, it's an absolute blessing. But we have never, you know, behind the scenes or in the public, you know, walked around and tried to do the whole Rockstar BS. We just try and remember, we always just remember where we came from, and it's been a slow process, and it just helps us to be able to put on a better show and blow more stuff up and do the stuff that we wanted to do. So that makes it exciting. You know, we still see our fans, still take pictures of them, still love meeting them. It's not like we've elevated to rock star status. Maybe, you know, some people will see it as that, but we don't ever see it like that. We still go out to the local bars in the cities that we're playing on days off, and hang out. And if we get recognized, it's always cool, you know. But it's not like we're in the limelight. It's not like we can't like walk down the street and everyone's bothering us, and, you know, we're not in the tabloids and stuff.
TMZ and the blabbermouth has died down a little bit.
Yeah, we always just stayed away from that stuff, which is so cool, because that would be so annoying. I've seen other bands and they become like celebrities, and I don't want to be a celebrity. I want our band to be the biggest band, but I don't want the headache of all that other BS. I want to, you know, go on stage and give it my all and be able to blow stuff up, and then come backstage and, you know, just be me, be myself, be a normal human being, hang out with my friends, family, the other bands, and we've done a really good job of that, I think.
100% pure rock. 1077 The Bone.